So these are my findings with passing and not really passing and trying to go home or somewhere. It's almost, it reminds me of the song I'm Like a Bird and I Don't Know Where Home Is. That song came out around early 2000s, if anybody remembers that. But anyways, my friend that before he passed, he kept singing that song, and when it came to year 2011, I kept hearing that song and playing in my head the whole time, and that was when my episode went on, and it was a really bad episode, and I came back here and I found that even if I did pass then, it was sure enough not passing because I came back here for absolutely no real reason but to actually be with Soul Element as a soulmate. So if anybody did see these images pop up in my head, like a bunch of bad reoccurring images that I feel like some did see, as there must be a knob that's connected to me, and there must be an intruder that just like broke my head and looked at all these images. And the reason why I think my head broke, as in the doorknob broke, was most likely because I was on a motorcycle and I had an accident. And that was when I went to the clinic and got stitches. So, I mean, it was pretty bad, and I did pass, like, I didn't go anywhere, I didn't see anything, but I did black out, and I don't know what happened during the blackout, but when I did awake, it was almost like I passed but couldn't see where exactly I was, because it was almost like something was backwards, and it's almost as I am stuck in the passing life and in the present life. So there must be some odd reason why I am still stuck in the present life, but I am still communicating with the past life, which means the life after death. So when I'm talking about this other incident that occurred in 2016 before my engagement, I had felt presence of what felt like an energy and a real person that was possessing me and was inside of me. And this person had led me out and possessed me and led me out, almost like some huntsman, and as some green-eyed huntsman that was almost like with powers to control me and be possessive. And what happened was, I went out and I had a collision. And strange enough, before that, when I passed that area, another person had told me to be careful of that curve on the road. And that was when I did have an accident, and a blonde guy did show up, which was someone else, not the person that I felt that was possessing me. But he did show up, and he did say what I heard on the other side was, your car is crashed and you have blood all over the place, and go with me. And what I heard in the living was, did you want to go with me? And automatically I felt that it was going to be something really strange, because if it was someone from the other side, I expected someone more of an image wise, and more of not picking me up in what seemed like a vehicle that did not seem as a vehicle that would normally pick up someone that passed. To go to the topic of third eye, I'm actually gonna start talking about the positivity of this, as in, if a person is Buddhist and supposedly Catholic, then the third eye helps with passing what felt and feels like purgatory. However, the judges are, we don't know who from where, because that is not really Buddhist, nor is it Christian Catholic. So I don't know where the judges came from, but sure enough, it is not helping me to pass to the next life. So obviously, if we live in a world where we cannot find our first real divine partner, there must be some sort of positivity of all situations to gather up and wrap it up nicely to why decisions were made. And even if it's silly to other people, obviously it's not silly to me, nor is it silly to other life around the universe. So when thinking about like my point of view of my third eye and my decisions and what I did, obviously to me it's an amazing life that all these decisions, even if I didn't agree to them completely, all made sense in a way that it ended actually nicely. So to name someone Monica without someone actually wanting that name, there's many reasons to why a rape occurred or to why the first guy was named Non. So if a rape occurred to a person named Monica, as I studied this, if a person is labeled and named something, obviously in their life they're going to have to live with some sort of matchings to the name. So I didn't want that name since the beginning, and I was given that name not by choice. But my first decision of mating someone, even though my first kiss was a guy named Bird, and if I was to choose that sex life at that time, obviously the story would have turned out I made an angel, or I have an angel husband. So I mean, as my first. So even if it's like a fake like 3D world and it's not completely 4D, 5D or whatever, then obviously when I go to 4D, it's going to be, the pattern is most likely going to be the first guy that's an angel, which was actually John in my kitchen. As I remember clearly, his leg flared up as his angel part was the one that was very distinctive in how he appeared. And the first guy was Non. So that meaning none in real at all. So to have someone real, it would have to only be, to me and myself, an actual real partner or divine partner. So, I mean, I can't just go around and wed whomever and whatever. But the reason why I know I'm given Mitzthazar, soul element, as soul mate. So, I mean, mate in British means a friend. So, I mean, that is obviously his blood and my blood. Obviously, I don't think we can mix, as in having a child. So, it's obvious that the pregnancy was an insemination. As I remember clearly, I prayed to the water god for a guy named Pump Forever. And the reason why it's this way, just maybe the divine partner had already read. And is it my fault that this happened? Obviously not. But is it something due to past life, since who knows when? Then yes, maybe. So, I mean, the reason why I'm stranded and stuck here, I would like to know. But the other reason is I'm sitting around wishing I have a choice to actually leave. If this place doesn't grant me that person, then obviously maybe there's a pattern somewhere else, a person somewhere else that is mateable as in blood, body, and a mateable person. So, I mean, obviously the insemination was most likely a person of another species. So, with that, I remember clearly that invisible voices were comparing that person to some sort of animal. And just how is it mateable? For example, my blood type is B without a positive or a negative. And so this person, if he's considered an animal, a monster, someone big, then obviously his blood type is O. And how is it mateable? In science, O can mate and make anyone pregnant. But in an alien way of the insemination, they're not just going to inseminate whom to whoever. They're going to have to inseminate the proper people to whomever. And if they don't, then that's pretty much against the law and all belief.